Hi, everyone. My name is Matt. I'm the Youth and Family Pastor at Cornerstone Church in Marshfield, and I'm here today with your Cornerstone Connection, a daily devotional. So, if you've been tracking with us, we are currently in day 15 of our Advent reading plan, but we're still in Luke chapter 1. So, we're taking it slow through the Christmas story and leading up to the birth of Christ. But if you would, join me in Luke chapter 1, verses 57 and 58. Here's what it tells us. When it was time for Elizabeth to have her baby, she gave birth to a son. Her neighbors and relatives heard that the Lord had shown her great mercy, and they shared her joy. Let me just read that one more time. When it was time for Elizabeth to have her baby, she gave birth to a son, and her neighbors and relatives heard that the Lord had shown her great mercy, and they shared her joy. So if you haven't been tracking with us, or maybe you're new to the Christmas story, you might be wondering, well, first of all, who's Elizabeth and who's this baby that she's just had? Well, Elizabeth is the wife of Zechariah, and what we know about Zechariah and Elizabeth is that they're aged people. They're old folks. They shouldn't be having a baby, but they've been faithful to God. They've been praying for a baby for years upon years upon years, and perhaps they've gone through times of doubt and just assuming that God just wasn't going to give them a child. But what we found out early on in Luke is that God decided to bless them with a child, and not just any child, but a very certain child. And we're going to find out exactly who that child is here in the coming days of our reading plan. But this is who Elizabeth is. And so the time comes, she gives birth to her son, and what we find out in verse 58 is that her relatives, her family, and her neighbors, those who surround her in her living area, they hear of this, and they go, wow, the Lord has shown Elizabeth great mercy. And then it says that they shared in her joy. You know, I took some time to look at these two words of mercy and joy. And it's neat when you look at the Greek underneath mercy. It's this idea of kindness and goodwill being shown to those who are miserable and afflicted, and in providing help to them. So this is the idea of what God has done for Elizabeth when the Bible tells us that the Lord has shown her great mercy. He saw a couple who, because of their circumstance, there was a kind of a feeling of we're miserable, we feel afflicted. We've been faithful to you, God. We have called out to you, God, over the years. And you have never answered our prayer. You have never given us the child we've so desperately longed for. And so when Elizabeth and Zechariah's family and neighbors saw that they were having a child, the first thing that they thought was, wow, God has been merciful. He has been kind. He has helped those who are in need. And so what is their response? Well, it says that they shared her joy. And if we go to that word in the Greek, we find out it's a celebration. They come together, and as we're going to see in the coming verses, it's a party time. It's a baby shower. It's a birthday party, and they're celebrating with Elizabeth and with Zechariah about the birth of their son, and even deeper than that, about the display. They're celebrating the display of God's mercy. You know, friends, it's interesting as we read that today. You think, you know, what brings people together today to celebrate and to party? Well, of course, you know, there's holidays that we celebrate and we party. There's birthdays and things like this. There's the Super Bowl and sports teams that bring us together. There's all these other things. But how many times have you gone to a celebration and people say, they call you up and say, hey, we're having a party. And you go, great, we're having a party. Why are we having a party? Because the Lord has shown great mercy. What a perspective shifter, right? When's the next time that we're going to get together and we're just going to celebrate? Man, the Lord has shown us great mercy. Perhaps that's what our Sunday worship services are all about. But it just kind of spoke to me today. You know, we get together for a lot of reasons, but how often do we get together and celebrate and party just because of God's great mercy that He has shown each and every one of us who, in our sin state, are miserable and afflicted, and we're in need of help from a Savior. So friends, let's rejoice that we, this Christmas and every day of our lives, we have a reason to celebrate and to party because the Lord has shown each of us through Christ great mercy. Have a wonderful day, friends. We'll see you next time on the Cornerstone Connection.